Rick Ross 30. Speaking of Rick Ross 30.
Hold on. Before we even get started with this video, I'm gonna need him to start covering his mouth and stop coughing on the phone. That's what old people do. They just cough out loud. They cough on stuff. It was old people that was spreading the vid. Come on, man. These boomers and these Gen Xers, y'all gonna have to stop coughing on the phone and coughing out loud. Let me get back to it. I'm sorry, that was just a little bit of a distraction.
Let me just get it all out.
Okay, Lukey.
This whole fighting my boy Ross and his guys in
He already
Canada,
compromised.
that's unacceptable.
He biased. He need to
It's
step away.
Unacceptable. That don't happen. That don't supposed to happen. And what's more unacceptable is when Mr. Drake liked the post. That also is unacceptable. I expect more out of Mr. Drake. When there's violence, you don't condone it. You should be bigger than that. Mr. Drake, you should be bigger than that. When there's violence, you don't condone that. You don't like no posters and all that, because here's what happened.
Hold on. We're not gonna call it posters. You don't like posts. It's not post. We're not gonna say all right. I don't want to start correcting people on their lingo because I know that the hip hop community and the things that we celebrate is ignorant as hell, and our ability to be able to communicate doesn't matter. But we're not gonna cap. How come they don't have that same smoke for 50? 50 will troll you and laugh at your whole city and Drake like a post. And so now he's saying that he trying to hold Drake accountable for something that Ross put himself in when Ross is supposed to be a boss and he's supposed to be situationally aware. Meanwhile, he was supposed to be getting up out of there and he wasn't even supposed to be in a crowd in the first place to then put his security in a position to get their ass beat up in Canada. You're going to go into a whole lion's den, taunt the lion, put your hand inside of the cage, and then get mad when the lion gnaw the hand off, and then somebody laugh at the post or like the post of them posting it on the internet if you getting your hand gnawed off because you put your hand inside of the cage.
Happens. There's always a backlash of it all. Here's what happens when now you've inserted yourself. Even if you were not involved, half of the country think you set the man up. They book a show in Canada, and you send your goons out there to agitate and start a.
Listen, we can hold Drake accountable for a lot of things, but Ross just gonna have to eat that L. He gonna have to eat that L, and the only people that y'all should be holding accountable is Ross for putting his guys in a dangerous position that they never should have been in the first place. You can hold people accountable for a lot. Listen, end of the day, J. Cole is the only winner in this whole situation. I've been saying it. I said it from the beginning when this first jumped off. I said that J. Cole was the smartest one by not even associating himself with it. And it's never going to be a situation where everybody just get unscathed and it stays on wax. Somebody going to crash out. It's going to be a crash dummies and people that's part of the crews and the clout and all the security. And now Ross's mans and them is getting brain damage and shit. One of the dudes was knocked out on the side of the floor. I said it, I called it, and I said, even if it's not the artists themselves, a lot of times there's a lot of collateral damage, and we've known this. Beef after beef, play after play is never gonna stay on wax. And I know that y'all wanted it so bad, y'all were so thirsty for it that y'all just wanted to see it play out. And now look at all the collateral damage that's laughing as a result of it. And again, he still ain't got no smoke for 50. He still ain't holding his guy accountable for going out there in the first place. You can't even mention this unless you hold Ross accountable.
Fight with Ross, and y'all do what you do on the
Ross should have never
TV.
even been in the
Half the
crowd.
country think that. So you validate that even if you did not do that. You validate that by doing what? Liking.
Put the phone down, bro. Just put the phone down, bro.
Please don't call me while I'm on here. Don't call me while. Can y'all hear me? Please, people, if I'm on live, don't call me.
How is somebody supposed to know you on live before they call you? Like what if they ain't following you on Instagram?
Don't call me. Don't call me. Interrupt my whole thing, my whole chain. Please, people. It's not the time to call me. Can you guys hear me good?
He said, "Can y'all hear me good?"
Just totally interrupted my chain of thought. I do not like when people do that. So, when you, Mr. Drake, like the post,
These old heads or something else, bro.
you just inserted yourself into violence toward Mr. Ross and his crew. Now, let me just say this. As a broker, a piece for Tupac and Biggie.
Why these people don't just stay out of
I
it?
seen how this shit end, man.
I don't understand.
I mean, these other young guys, we're going to have a conversation with a lot of these other young guys who dying, these senseless deaths and these songs and all that. Y'all brothers are talented. Y'all got to understand, y'all talented. Y'all don't need that.
Listen, bro, at the end of the day, I've learned that people are going to do what they're going to do. And we have too much history and too many examples that played out before us as to how you're supposed to move going forward. Is no reason why he should have ever probably even been there in the first place, considering that he helped incite and he helped initiate the beef. And then he called himself a boss and he riding on a jet. And then your whole crew gets stomped out. And you get snuffed. Ross got snuffed. I will give him a little bit of credit. He did eat that punch. You get snuffed. And then you start talking about Wingstop on the plane on the way to the crib. I think that Ross just got to eat that L. He got to take that L. He should have. He too old. We know better. We got too many examples of rap beefs that happened before it. I said from the very beginning that this is gonna get out of control and it's too big and it's gonna spiral to the point to where somebody gonna get hurt. And I pray that it just don't go no further than this because the first life is just too precious. I don't even want to put that type of energy out there. Life is just too precious. And I think that we need to be more mindful. I think that Uncle Luke is biased because Ross represents, you know what I'm saying? South Florida. And if you just associating it with a particular area, then they had to take that L. And 50 trolled. 50 trolled. 50 was laughing at him. And it's unfortunate. But let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description also. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know in the comments. Make sure y'all tap into after hours tonight. I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Stupid, bro.